Well, welcome guys. Hashtag #umnanzikbasekhaya. It's good to be home. It's a Health Tuesday today on the show, and there's two major things that we want to take a look at in terms of moms, expecting moms, pregnant women. We want to talk about the significance of being prepared as a mother. Guti nasekuthiwa the day is finally here. What is it that you need to do? What is it that you need to have in terms of everything that you're going to need for yourself and for your baby to make that hospital stay a memorable one? I can't exactly say memorable in a nice way, right? Because labor pains and everything that comes in between before you get to hold your baby is just a lot. But we want to talk about the significance of being prepared as a mom. And of course, we want to talk about, HIV and AIDS transmission from mother to child. We know that we've made a lot of strides when it comes to eliminating HIV and AIDS or reducing the number of people that are living with HIV and AIDS. So we want to see, Guti, when it comes to the transmission from mom to baby. Is that still a reality in 2025, or the chances of your baby getting HIV and AIDS or contracting HIV and AIDS are very slim? Hence, it's a Health Tuesday today on the show. So we hope that the show is going to be very informative. My partner in crime is back from home. She went home. How were your Easters? How are you doing?
My Easters were perfect. They were splendid. I had a great time. How were your Easters?
Fun-filled. My son was around. We had a lot to do and play. So
bonding.
Yeah, bonding, definitely. And value for the ones that, the little ones, the ones that go to preschool. So we had all the time, and we are still going to have a couple of weeks.
A lot of playtime.
Yeah, a lot of playtime.
Yeah, and my Easters would happen across maybe all regions in the country, but there's an interesting video there that was posted on a Eswatini TV page.
Okay.
Routine dance.
Definitely.
A lot of views, a lot of likes. People were so fascinated by that, so. But I'm glad if you had a beautiful Easter weekend.
Definitely. Likewise.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Sanbonani Sanemugere Golden Hour on a Health Tuesday. Yaphela April inyanga lenkulu lemqoka kakhulu emhlabeni wonke. International Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. Siyajabula kubona konke lokwendiwa bo psychologists, bo therapists, bantu labasita ukuseluleka, ngama platforms abo lahlukahlukene, social media, nasesibhedlela siyabona isibhedlela tengcondo kakhulu, there's a lot of education, there's a lot of outreach, to people, to educate ourselves, about, harassment, sexual assaults, so many stories that trended, especially in social media, trend locally on our social media, and of course on our traditional media platforms. Sexual assault underage. What is it that you do exactly? At some radio station, I think I made the right decision not reporting my assaulter, because you are at a danger of being killed or physically assaulted even, so in Celeste Instagram but live I think on the 28th of April, but by sexual assault awareness and prevention. So make sure that you listen out to and be attentive to such conversations. Therapists, psychologists, clinical psychologists, what are some of the steps that you need to take as the person that has been sexually assaulted? So it's just that, and so many important topics and conversations that we're having in the month of April. And of course, we Health Tuesday Golden Hour namuhla babuyile ke baka World Health Organization Eswatini baqhubeka nemkhankaso wabo lomkhulu bathi ngeke baze beme, because until the next 2026 umkhankaso wabo uyahamba cishe for a whole year batayowafundzisa to make sure ukuthi kude banifana laba lahlekako noma labashonako batalwa edibhedlela nabanye batalwa kwemakhaya ngaleyo ndlela leyo. So sinabo ke namhla baka World Health Organization Eswatini to talk to us about that ehleli golden hour. Asingamosha isikhathi sibuke ukuthi umhlaba wonke namhla ugubha ukuthi ilanga lanamhla ilanga lelithini. Today is what is called International Mother Earth Day. Bengigadzile ukubuka nekubona angisho ukuthi iflu yami seyaphela.
Seyaphela, thank you. Ngiyayiva, I can literally feel it. Ukuthi hayi no sekudla
yeah. No sipping of anything, nothing.
Vele ukuthi uye ekhaya so that you know.
Oh yeah.
And you feel better.
Okay. Now you cut for madload.
Yes,
those that believe in that.
Yeah.
You know, but then today's International Mother Earth Day. Bengisasho ukuthi bengigadzile kubona kunama activists ethu abo climate change nani ngibona ukuthi baposta yini akhona ilama hashtags namuhla so ngibonile nje ukuthi bapostile basho ukuthi today's Mother Earth Day or International Mother Earth Day. So langa lapho khona umhlaba lesiphila kulo ngumake wethu lo stele is calling us to action ngokuthi asesime indzaba ukuthi siwunukubede lokho lesikulahlako. It could be air pollution, land pollution, water pollution, or any other form of pollution. Ibese seyiyabuyela ikhipha engathini mhlambe ngendlela ukuthi kuyasha noma mhlambe ilanga liyashisa, whatever, you know, items or form of pollution ku-emita what is called greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases gemaningi, there's chlorofluorocarbons, there's methane, there's CO2 which is carbon dioxide nayo lengalungi kahle ngoba sifuna kuphefumula phela sihoshe into our bodies and clean which is clean oxygen or clean air, you know, so make sure ukuthi asinukubetike imvela ngaleyo ndlela leyo. So kufaka ikhathi ukuthi singalahli noma ngakuphi nangabe ubonile lo lahlile butha ungasanaki ukuthi kulahle bani because egcine konke lokhu affecta thina. Sikubonile ke lokhu kwentiwa mhlambe, you know, countries internationally bazama ukuthi banciphise like greenhouse gas emissions lokufaka ikhathi emotweni. There's more bicycles in other countries. Sekunema policies la guide abantu labashayela imoto nje ukuthi na ushayela imoto sekune tax lo ibhadalako wena mnyaka leto sita ukuthi labo lababuke temvelo mhlambe kunakekela kwasosibhakabhaka nabo bakhone to get the right, you know, facility and technology to clean up, you know, the atmosphere. So it's basically that enatha vela ngwane yazame lokusemandleni ethu ukuthi singayinukubedi imvelo. The hashtag is International Mother Earth Day. Liyasithinza sonke lelanga lethu.
Definitely, well said. And of course, it being a Health Tuesday, we're celebrating, you know, little ones. We're looking at, you know, how you can prepare yourself as a mom, and then also how you can, how we have, you know, come far basically as a country. To rephrase, when it comes to HIV transmissions from mother to child. So obviously, and at the end of the day, they grow up and they need to start going to school, right? So today we are celebrating School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, right? So we're celebrating bus drivers. Locally, we are celebrating them because they transport our special cargo from home to school and vice versa. So this is a very important job, guys, because there's a lot that can happen. You know, there's a lot that, you know, you can be worried about as a parent. The bullying also starts because there's a lot of children coming from different backgrounds and everything of that sort. But as a parent, I think if you can afford to drive your child to school, I think that's just the safest route. But we are not saying that, you know, driver or bus driver, school bus driver in particular, it's a pass. They actually play a vital role. They formed, like, you know, a great relationship with, you know, your child or your children or whoever they transport on a day-to-day basis. They basically play the role of being an elder uncle, taking care of them, making sure magafiga atomdropa endlini uyamela before they actually drive off. Those are some of the precautions that you can take. So it's a very important job because your kids are very special, and today we're all about celebrating, you know, their job and was highlighting basically what they do on a day-to-day basis.
I remember one of my nephews, abuya school and they were like, Granny, mina ngihlala eBhuthini.
We are born.
So, yeah. So the one way or the other, the kids will tell you what happens.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
in the car or whatever form of transport that is being used. You know, so yeah, we are like, you know, shining the lights on, you know, the great work that school bus drivers or any other school bus, or could be any other kind of vehicle that is being used. The driver, appreciating them today in the golden hour. Right? So bamana bahlale nje kahle wabonke babhadele, right?
Bangashiswa endlini.
How so she's saying? No, imagine.
Yeah, so that's what we're celebrating today. And of course, without wasting any time, we'll go for an ad break. When we come back, we're coming back with Nesnom Kosi Bembe to talk to us about the significance of birth preparedness.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last.
My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors. Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers.
Hussein, we are perfect. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together.
When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
We need to show that new squeak in Mvule.
I hate this school!
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.sz. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406-7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kumula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokusendlini.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last.
My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors. Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers.
Hussein, we are perfect. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together.
When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
We need to show that new squeak in Mvule.
I hate this school!
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. Any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.za. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406-7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba-researche, bafunze.
Being risky twins ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kumula.
nathi kufuna senze ukukhiqiza lokusemndeni.
Welcome back to the show. Hlelo Golden Hour ntambama September kuthini nesikhathi lesimnanzi lomhla kuyi Health Tuesday. Sina nesilomhla hlelo Golden Hour lophinze abe SRH mentor. Kusho ukuthi uyasikhulumisa sibasha sibadzala ngetindzabate ukuthi sitinakekela kanjani when it comes to sexual reproductive health. Zakhele joins us today on the Golden Hour. Unesike angicali ukukhuluma naye Zakhele, which is something that I'm excited about to carry on with a conversation that touches the importance ukuthi make nakasesibhedlela mhlambe akhulelwe emathuba ukuthi umfana anga contract HIV ehle noma abasezingeni lelisephasi noma abe ngekho nje at all, which is a great work initiative maybe that is being done by nurses and the hospitals. Zakhele, good evening, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Super excited. My bonus, and also you happen to be a sexual reproductive health mentor. Kumqoka kangakanani ukuthi nisifundzise niqhubeke nisifundzise. Siyathi kona sineligoal la 2030 nalo lisahamba kahle siphokophele khona ukuthi si eradicate do away with HIV and AIDS nasikhona evenda kangwane. Kumqoka kangakanani ukuthi niqhubeke nisifundzise about the importance of mother to child transmission of HIV.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe also just to appreciate the opportunity for coming back at Eswatini TV.
Yes.
Basically, this program, what I've noted, it has a really a good impact that is doing to our people.
Yes.
Because the moment we get out of this place, people start calling. Some need clarity on things that we were talking about on the program.
Nice.
So we truly appreciate such an opportunity from Eswatini TV to come in and talk to our people about such issues. Yes, maybe let me say I'm a nurse midwife by profession, and I love working with mothers and the little ones. So when it comes to the question that you are raising, we as a country, we have made so much strides when it comes to issues of HIV, the transmission from the mother to the baby. Because when you recall back then, we had an issue where we were losing a lot of babies out of HIV. We were losing a lot of mothers out of HIV. And then the strategies that the ministry employed so that we can try, and move towards eliminating the transmission of HIV virus to the mother, from the mother to the baby. So we have seen so much great work that was done, especially by my colleagues. Let me say my colleagues, the nurses, the nurse midwives. The government, with all the relevant stakeholders that are there, they made it a point that they equip all the nurses with the right information so that they can be able to then execute whatever they've been taught in trying to eliminate HIV, because we were struggling as a country. And as you have mentioned, the goal towards 2030, and we are seeing that when you are looking at the stats now, we are seeing that very few babies now are born with HIV. with the virus.
Okay.
We have seen that most of our babies are now born HIV free due to the programs that are being run in the country, where when the mother she tests positive, we initiate on site on the long-term ART therapy.
Okay.
So they start taking ART immediately after we test and we find that this client is reactive, is HIV positive.
Okay.
And that has yielded a great impact, and the results are so amazing. We have babies now that are born HIV free.
Okay.
So which is a good thing that the country has done, and we really applaud even the ministry for seeing it, that we need an HIV free generation, and we are soon going to achieve that goal where we will say it's now 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get there.
Yeah,
Sooner,
definitely. Yeah.
the better.
The sooner the better.
The sooner the better.
Yeah.
So besides ART therapy, akhona lamanye preventative measures leniwa instilla mhlambe that you've put in place lenikhona ukuthi niwa prescribe mhlawumbe if it's a form of prescription,
Okay.
for bona bomma ke nabo bantwana at birth, before birth, post birth,
Yeah,
are there any
okay.
other?
Yeah, actually, maybe let's start with the main target. There's what we call positive living.
Okay.
We, as a country, when it comes to the preventive strategies that are there, I think you can allude to the fact that we have seen a lot of healthcare workers up and down, especially on the media platforms, trying to sensitize the public. Because lesikufisa kakhulu ukuthi bantu bangayithole HIV. That's the strategy amongst le pillar yangalaka elimination, where we are saying the first thing, especially all mothers of childbearing age. Okay. The first strategy is that may they not contract HIV in the first place. How do we achieve that? Through the health education sessions that we render to the people. Okay. And also then also advise them on preventive measures like using a condom, nabalala. If ayisebenzisa le condom noma angaseka khona kuyisebenzisa, we'll also have lama programs lafana bo PrEP, where a person who is HIV negative will come to the facility, test for HIV, and she's negative, and it doesn't matter if you don't know your partner's HIV status, but let's say you don't know your HIV status of your partner, but you decide, because sometimes you find that partners are just different. Some will be reluctant to test for HIV.
Yeah, true.
So, but then you will then opt as a person to say, you know what, I don't want to contract HIV because my partner doesn't want to tell me or doesn't want to go even for testing. Yeah. So you go for PrEP therapy, where you will take a medication that will prevent you from yourself from contracting HIV. It doesn't matter whether your partner then will want to continue or what, but you prevent, we are trying to prevent the gap like HIV in the first place. Yeah. So then, but also for that one also helps again to the babies. Let's say now, so now you're HIV, because you asked about the preventive measures. Yes. Let's say now you have the HIV. Yeah. It's advisable that the mother, once she tests positive, like I said, you start the ART therapy so that you can now prevent HIV from being transmitted from you to the baby, while the baby is still in utero.
Okay, so masakatelo ke lo mfana, because and that is a liquid, a fluid that is moving from a region of high concentration to a region of lower concentration, right?
Yeah.
Nilandzelela kanjani ke kuboma ke ukuthi umfana vele angamthelele igciwane?
You know what, I truly want to appreciate the mothers out there. They really take our message that we give to them, especially from their clinics, whilst they're doing their ANC contacts with us. They really take the message, because for you to achieve that, you need to adhere completely to the treatment. Adherence is one of the most important strategies, achieve, because the mother needs to take the medication correctly at the right time, and abe consistent kungabinelanga la ahlageja khona ngoba so that because remember once she starts it's treatment for a lifetime.
Okay.
It's not like you die 7 medication and then stop in the midst of it, but uqhubeka nayo ayithatha. So the mothers, they are really taking it, and that's why we are seeing these positive results that we are seeing, because the mothers, they adhere to the treatment. Yes, breastfeeding now, when she breastfeeds. So once HIV is suppressed in the system, if you take your medication correctly, the HIV will then be suppressed, the virus itself will then be suppressed such that it will not be able to multiply, in a sense that it will then be able, you know, to overtake your immune system and be then transmitted to the baby. So once you take the medication correctly, even if you breastfeed after,
Yeah, so taking good care of yourself, mthatha prep therapy, no, the therapy, lokhuluma ngayo, isitamine, phinde isite nalomfana, you know, in the long run. Now, what are some of the challenges that you face? Maybe nibonesi, because ni bambisa, the United Nations, the World Health Organization, you know, in the countries and globally, you know, what are some of the challenges that you face? Nisazama ukuthi achieve or attain that goal of an AIDS-free nation.
I won't lie to you. There are instances where you find that you will face a difficulty, but especially from the user side.
Okay.
Because when it comes to the government side, the medication, especially HIV medication, we as a country have, as Africa last been a problem corner, so to say, where we saw stockouts of ART therapy now. See, we've been so fortunate on that in that area, but the problem you find that is from the user side, the clients themselves, where you find that the client, I don't know, for some reasons they are not taking the medication correctly. They don't adhere to the medication. You know, I will tell you the truth. It's not easy to be diagnosed. Like right now, I test you, test positive. And then from there, I initiate you and I tell you that this treatment, you are going to take it for your lifetime until you die. So imagine I'm shocked in the first place that I'm now HIV positive. And then within a minute, I'm telling you, now you need to take your medication. Therapy. So I have a lot of questions. Probably I've seen people with HIV, how they be, probably some died because of HIV. Some got sick to an extent where HIV. I think those who have seen HIV back then can tell you how HIV used to look like. So now you find that the client, or reluctant, one is in denial. We have to blame, is blaming even the partner. But why? Exactly.
That's the most stressful thing also.
So you find that those things, they then delay, normal they affect you treatment as a client. There might be any other issues, but mainly what we have seen, you find that it's the client. There are issues that the client is trying to battle with, and some of them, when you try and balance and then they decide to disappear.
But as long as we have the therapy, the ART, the treatment, as long as it's there, because we've seen, and heard the impact of some of the sanctions that Donald Trump made a move on. Therapy. Are we set? Are we good? Are we nice?
With the good thing about that, even our government tries by all means every day or reassure Maswat when it comes to ART. Most of the drugs, government bekatitsengela and lamanye noma angatsengeli la bekasitsengela bamlekelelago, they are reliable, they are still here. So that's a reassurance that we have it. It is because we have seen from the news and people started panicking. But I think we can breathe that sigh of relief to say we're still good.
We're nice.
We're still good. Maybe one advice is just to encourage the mothers or whosoever is taking ART to adhere to treatment. The good thing with HIV, once you are able to adhere completely, you are in control of HIV.
Yes.
That's why when you take ART, it's nearly impossible. I'm not saying it's not possible.
Okay.
It's nearly impossible. The chances of you transmitting it to the next person.
Okay.
Yeah, the chances are slim.
Okay.
So that's why we are saying if you are here, you are now in control.
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zakhele, thank you so much for joining us today. Sithemba ukuthi ndaqhubeka nomsebenzi lomuhle lekufundisa sisebenze beyond 2030 sikusale sikwenda ipractice habit yethu culture yethu nje ukuthi siyadivikela HIV ihlala indize yodwa nje moyeni. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Well, that is our guest today on the Golden Hour, Zakhele Wakangwenya, a nurse midwife. He made sure to specify that. A nurse midwife and SRH mentor. Stabalanzela kakhulu ke bonesi ba Ministry of Health usilanzele bonesi nabo labasebenza na World Health Organization Eswatini ukuthi basifundzise sichubeke nathi silalele silanzele yonke lemithetho nemigomo labayibekile kuze siphephe nokuthi nama SDGs lakhona sikhona ukuthi hit the target. So with that said, on the Golden Hour, take a short break. Nasibuya sinanomkhosi Bhembe sifuna kukhuluma indzaba lemcoka mother to child transmission / birth preparedness.
Welcome to Eswatini Lifestyle. This is your ultimate guide to the entertainment, to the lifestyle and the culture of Eswatini.
Eswatini Lifestyle. Eswatini Lifestyle.
Eswatini Lifestyle.
From 6:30 to 7 p.m.
On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
Dive into a thriving and diverse art scene. Simply follow our hosts in Artsy Africa.
Come with me.
6 African cities, so many voices. What attracted me was the large canvas for expression. These artists are reshaping how we see contemporary art. Artsy Africa.
Have a look.
The vibrant series on DW.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last.
My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors.
Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers.
Who's in? We are prefects. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together.
When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
You need to show that new squeak in Mvule.
I hate this school.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sende ukukhicita lokusembili.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Hashtag Umnanzik Baseka. It is good to be home. It's, health conversations galore. We are trying to teach you guys, educate you guys, especially when it comes to significance of birth preparedness. So if I'm speaking French or I'm speaking a language that you don't understand, it's basically, as a parent or as an expecting mom, so you deliver umpanako. What are the things that you need to have? Some of the things that are going to be essential for you and your baby. And of course, we have the wonderful nurse Nomkosi Bembe from the Ministry of Health to talk to us about those things. She's a female for next time, because I don't think that, you know, when I had my first baby, I was prepared like that. But I just knew the basic things that I was supposed to have. So this is a conversation for the expecting moms as well. And if you're trying to have a baby, this is a conversation that you need to listen in on so that you know what is expected of you. Hello, Bembe Unjani.
Siyaphila, thank you for having me on the show.
It's good to be back, right?
It is, it is.
All right, so we're talking about birth preparedness. Can you tell me, can you define what that is? I know pretty much it's just look selela, but birth preparedness, what are we talking about and why is it important?
Basically, birth preparedness, you've said it right. It's basically ensuring that you have everything ready that you will need for the arrival of the baby and thereafter immediately in maternity. Okay. So we are talking about the things you need to prepare for yourself, yes, the things you need to prepare for your baby, yes, which also includes how you are going to get to the facility. That's also part of being prepared. Okay. Because transport readily available. Yeah. Even if you have a car parked outside, yeah, sometimes you will not be able to drive yourself to the maternity. So you need to have a plan. Yeah. Would say, how do I get there? Yeah. So it's basically us just taking the woman through that, so we know that when labor hits, yes, we are ready.
And, you know, it's so wonderful how we have the power of, like, social media now. There's literally people that will start YouTube channels and they rehearse, you know, in terms of, like, when the labor has started, okay, I get the bags, I get this and this and that. And I feel like this is some of the things that maybe we probably need to adopt, because sometimes, you know, labor can start in the middle of the night. Maybe who's probably not even answering your call. So I want to talk about maybe the essentials that a mom is supposed to have, that a baby is supposed to have when it's time to go to the hospital.
Yes, but first I like what you started with. Yes. Kutsi, sometimes you rehearse. Yes. We do encourage, because let's have those drills at home even. Yeah. Kutsi, nasektiwa nago sofikile umhelo. Yeah. What is everyone's role in the family? Okay. To make sure that you are ready. Yes. Because singakhuluma nge-taxi. What happens? Yes. Single off. Yes. And the baby is coming. You need to get to the facility. Maybe it's a bit remote. Yeah. Fuel. Noma sidamcela ngalelo langa athi babenza imoto ikhona awumane idenalo fuel wekuyofika le filling station kwethiwe. You know, these are some of the things you need to talk about. Yeah. So when we talk about the things that the mother needs, let's start with the mother. Yeah. Firstly, you need to have your own bag. Yes. That has your pads. We know labor comes with a lot of bleeding. Mm-hmm. The mother's going to need pads. Mm-hmm. And we're not talking ultra thin, it's heavy bleeding. Yes. You need to have your pads. Yeah. You need to have your change of clothes. Mm-hmm. You need to have your toiletries. In all our maternities, public or private, you're encouraged to take a shower. Yes. Once you're stable, mm-hmm, because you want to clean up also and be fresh. Definitely. So you need to have that bag ready and packed. Mm-hmm. And also for your baby, you want to have your, we call it the baby's liet. You want to have your diapers. Yes. For your newborn baby. Mm-hmm. You want to have a vest and maybe your jumpsuit. Yes. And a hat. Most importantly, the hat. Yeah. Let's never forget the hat. Our newborns, they lose heat quickly. Okay. And they need to stay warm. So we always want to keep that head covered. So and that receiving blanket, you want your baby to be covered nicely in their blanket. Sure. So those are things you do not want to leave behind. Okay. And actually we encourage, Kutsi, let's have this ready. CSC could say 28 weeks. Yes. Which is about 7 months, because you know, if labor starts, then the baby has good chances of survival. So you're going to need these things. So June, end of May. Because what if I have preterm labor? Yeah. So these are the things that we need to prepare for. Any emergency that occurs, let's ensure the mother's ready. And once we're done preparing, let someone know where those bags are.
Yes.
Labor can come anytime, anywhere. Ukumbe uhambile usedolobheni sekuvela lokuvelako. You should have someone you can call to say, tikhwama tami tasesibhedlela tikuphi nakathathathe konke. Kungaze kuthi kuyafika esibhedlela hayi emanapukeni beka kuphi wona. Let's just keep everything together.
I remember, I think it's a very nice community that we have, I think, in Eswatini, because even if there's something that you'll miss at the hospital, maybe I'll give according to my personal experience, once you hit that month 9, because you never know, you know, but even it's supposed to be closed. How true is that?
We have a very mobile community. We have our nice, beautiful, small country, so we are able to move around. So ngendega make so decidile ukuthi awasengisuke kamanzini ngijike la speak kamamncane ngiyabuya. Umhelo songishaya sengisespeak. So you must have your things ready.
And when we speak about outfits, you did mention a change of clothes for the mom, right? And a change of clothes for the baby. How many outfits is a mom supposed to have? This probably might be a tricky question, because when we think of labor, we think we're going to the hospital, we're going to deliver a baby, but there's unforeseen circumstances. You might need to stay at the hospital for a couple of days. Maybe your baby's being under supervision because of certain conditions that they probably might have. So what's the safest number of outfits a mom is supposed to have?
Okay, normally when we speak of labor, we like speaking within the normals.
Yes.
So we know you're going to spend at least 24 hours with us if there are no complications. But it wouldn't hurt to have a change of clothes. Logo 2 or 3.
Okay.
Ngoba lokunye sebangakulethele ekhaya, you know, because we'd like to think everything would go normally, but if, like you're saying, that baby needs to be kept in the hospital for whatever observations, or the mother has those minor complications and they must be kept within. So you want to be comfortable. We all want to be in our own things.
Yes.
So yeah.
2 or 3. 2 or 3 outfits. Okay.
Oh, another thing that we might have missed when talking birth preparedness. It also means planning on which facility to go to. Yes, that one is also very important. We always love discussing this with our pregnant mothers to say, because that also helps the mother. You are able to help her make the right decision. Ngingasho ukuthi ngihlala kuMalinza ngithi mina yathi ngithanda embabane. Ufuna kubeleka embabane.
Yes, true.
But then when you start talking about some of the things that she must plan for, like transport, she might then realize, in fact, it's not practical for me. So then you are able to guide her so she makes a better decision that will suit her.
Yes.
Angatoze bese khathi sekacabanga make sikumikisa kuphi naye so conflicted. So we also need to plan on which facility we are going to deliver in. Also, it matters because we have health centers that have maternity units. We have our hospitals that have maternity units. But not all clients go to health centers. I'm a first-time mother or I'm a high-risk case. So the mother needs to know this during antenatal care. Kuthi hayi ngingahlala la kathukolwako kepha mina akungilungeli kuya kathukolwako ngoba so I need to plan to go to the hospital.
Yes.
So these are some of the things that we need to talk about during birth preparedness.
That's very informative. And speaking about, you know, expecting moms, the excitement that comes with it, we know that it takes a village even before the baby is born. So can you speak to me about some of the roles that, you know, every family member or even, you know, the immediate family members are supposed to play in terms of, you know, just expecting the child and assisting the mom as well, have a safe delivery and also have a safe transition from, okay, I'm in labor to now I'm in the hospital?
I think we have touched on that a little already to say, as we plan, let someone, like, for instance, the things you're going to need. You need your family support. They must know where those things are if you need them and you're not at home. You also need the family to be involved because we know that childbirth is not kids' play.
It's not.
So,
yes.
Spoken from experience.
Yes, definitely.
It's no kids' play. So You need that family support, and more importantly, we never leave out male involvement. You need your partner's support.
Yes.
Be it arranging on how you get to the facility, the things that you're going to need as a mother in the facility. I've been discharged. You know, the family, that's where they come in to support you. Because the mother's main concern, I genuinely believe, should be the baby.
Only the baby.
Yes, let's not stress our mom on Kutsi Sofika njani kaya nani, you know. That's where the family comes in to say everyone plays a role in ensuring that this journey is made as comfortable as it possibly can for this woman.
It really does take a village. And before I let you go, unfortunately we've run out of time, but I want to touch on some of the danger signs that, you know, expecting moms are supposed to look out for, immediate family is supposed to look out for. It's okay, maybe I'm just, you know, getting, you know, discharged that is just unfamiliar, or saying God to say Puma. What are some of the things that they need to look out for as expecting moms? Yeah.
During pregnancy, I always start with this one because I always say, Mage lotet fele agopi.
Okay.
We see bleeding, we worry.
Yes.
Ngoba kuba khona lawo mamethi lo miye besothi kumbu yabuka.
Yes.
We are pregnant, we see bleeding, we worry. Yes. We go to our health facility. We do not stay at home.
Okay.
There's draining pumemand.
Yes.
We worry, we go to the facility, we don't stay at home.
Okay.
Yes. Lokunye ke sekungaba ngilabo continuous and persistent headache.
Yes.
Because we know sometimes kufana nabo elevated blood pressure that will happen. The mother will not know my blood pressure is high, but it's some of the things she's going to feel. But also something that we always stress on lately is whenever in doubt, if uncertain if it's an emergency or not when you're pregnant, always seek help.
That's true.
Always seek help.
Okay.
Also, we don't want our mother to be having a fever. It's not good for our mother. It's not good for a baby. It could be an indication for a lot of things. Go back infection, gunani. We don't stay at home.
Yes.
We rush to the hospital. Yes. We see something, we get up and we action, because the key thing for us is let's catch any complications early, so we're able to intervene timely so that we are able to have a positive result. So I think that's the key message.
Okay. That's very informative. Thank you so much. These are some of the things I didn't even plan on, guys, when I was having my first baby. And I'm sure it's going to have a lot of expecting moms, especially first-time moms. And of course, second-time moms as well. I feel there's certain things that you can learn from and improve better on. So this has been very delightful. Thank you so much, Bembe.
Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our amazing nurse, Nomkhosi Bembe, talking to us about the importance of being prepared as an expecting mom, right? And of course, it does take a village. So if you see anything that you're unfamiliar with, basically you're experiencing pains that you don't really understand, it's like pumingad or whatever the case may be, that is just weird and unfamiliar, you seek help. And you know, it's very important to also plan for where you're going to be giving birth, so that it's very easy to transition, from, you know, home to the hospital for a safe delivery. And we hope that this is very delightful and you guys are taking down notes, guys, and make sure that, you know, you support someone who's expecting, because you never know what they are going through. We hope that this has been very delightful for you guys. We'll take a breather. When we come back, we'll take a look at our entertainment report on the show.
Dive into a thriving and diverse art scene. Simply follow our hosts in Artsy Africa.
Come with me.
6 African cities, so many voices. What attracted me was the large canvas for expression. These artists are reshaping how we see contemporary art. Artsy Africa.
Have a look.
The vibrant series on DW.
Welcome to Eswatini Lifestyle. This is your ultimate guide to the entertainment, to the lifestyle and the culture of Eswatini.
Eswatini Lifestyle. Eswatini Lifestyle.
Eswatini Lifestyle.
From 6:30 to 7 p.m.
On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
On Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
ide lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba-researche, bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
nathi kufuna sente ukukhiqiza lokusembili.
Well, it's time for us to take a look at some of the trending stories, entertainment news or stories trending on social media and the internet today. So, South African sprinter Akani Simbini has broken Usain Bolt's record. So, legendary South African sprinter Akani Simbini has again fetched his name in history by breaking Usain Bolt and Asafa Powell's 100-meter record at the Botswana Grand Prix in Gaborone. So, the veteran and highly respected sprinter blazed into victory in a world-leading time of 9.90 seconds, far ahead of Kenya's Ferdinand Omanyala, who also clocked as fast best last season at 10.0 seconds, while South Africa's rising sensation Ritsiditwe Mlenga was third in 10.15 seconds. So with his brilliant time, Simbini unknowingly engraved his name in a key stat ahead of the legendary Bolt and Paul as the first man in history to run under 10 seconds mark for 11 consecutive years. So this propelled him ahead of Bolt, who previously owned the record for 10 years, while Paul dropped to third at 9 years. So Simbini's new feat shows his consistency through the years, as he has been at every major championship 100-meter final in the past 10 years. So his impressive stat to the 2025 season highlighted by claiming his first career individual bronze medal at the World Indoor Championships in Nanjing. And in addition to his world lead and record-breaking stat, shows he is full of confidence and man on the mission this year to break his 100-meter medal jinx at the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan this coming summer. So yeah, great news. One of the fastest men in history.
Yeah.
History now.
The history now.
Yeah,
and Versati Bolt, like when you speak of Bolt, he played his part when it came to like setting records. So it's very nice how these people now are just challenging that and overcoming some of the records that we know.
Broken.
Record broken. And that's very beautiful, because that should, inspire a lot of people to actually want to do better, than previous legends. So moving on, we want to talk about Tanzania shining at the Boston Awards for Excellence. So amid gathering of visionary leaders and thinkers from over 50 nations, Tanzania stood out at the Boston Awards of Excellence in 2025. 4 Tanzanian leaders were honored with honorary doctorates for transformative contributions in leadership, innovation, and social impact. So the event, coordinated by the London Institute of Skills Development, cast a global spotlight on education, leadership, and entrepreneurship. So held in collaboration with Harvard Club of Boston, underscored Harvard's global thought and collaboration across all spheres of influence. Amongst honorees, founder BSM Washuri, Mr. Bakari Mashumu stood out for his groundbreaking work in media leadership. Ford Eda was honored in entrepreneurship and corporate governance. Joseph Nakayumo earned accolades for her outstanding work in product innovation and leadership across 14 African countries. So the Boston Awards celebrated not only individual excellence, but collective human efforts in uplifting and inspiring others. So this story we're shining a light upon because it's an African country, and we like people that are, setting their records and doing exceptional work, be it globally or be it in their individual countries. So congratulations to the recipients.
Yeah, saying that DJ Loshonile South Africa Bulawa Habli Bubbly.
Yes,
but the question is how? How did it kill him?
Dangerous.
So Habli Bubbly claims DJ's life in a blink of an eye. The music stopped for Philmon DJ Philmore Lediga, a vibrant DJ who played tracks that brought people together. So this past weekend, his life was remembered. It was cut short in a mysterious incident that left his loved ones reeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the okay. I want to find out if it was because he was smoking it or there was an incident that led to it. Right. Okay, so basically we want to find out, guys, and of course, Baga World Health Organization have played a vital role when it comes to just telling us and teaching us and raising awareness about the dangers of having habli babli, guys. We want to know and we want to find out everything that can happen with be it someone is smoking a lot of habli, be it some of the dangers, because we know that it's not good for anyone's chest, right? With that being said, I think it's time for us to take a small breather. We'll be right back on the show. Excuse us.
The Board of Directors